Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel again. So today I'm going to be talking about how you can create startups nowadays without any coding and how simple the process is. So today, to go through this, I'm going to talk about a bit about my background, some misconceptions about building technical products or startups, how to build these products without coding, getting customers, and essentially some final notes that I'd like to talk about as well. So, firstly, my background. So, I've been working as a data scientist, my previous role. I'm also a self taught programmer in terms of building websites and applications, but also in terms of data science itself. I've built websites and applications using code and no code. So, yeah, I've got a plenty of experience doing this. So, the first thing I want to talk about is the misconceptions nowadays to maybe people that want to build a tech startup or a business using technical products. The misconception is that you need to be very technical to build tech products or applications for a particular problem you're trying to solve or type of business that you want to build out. And certainly, yes, if you're at the forefront of technology, say if you want to build the next AGI or the next metaverse or augmented reality, etc., or building tools for developers, you need to be very technical for those sort of tasks. But for most businesses and most products nowadays, like you don't need to be extremely technical. You don't need to have like 10,000 hours of building technical products to start your business. It's actually far more accessible, and certainly at MVP stage, you definitely need to explore these options where you can build products with no code. And so there's also a misconception with Y Combinator constantly saying that they need technical people to do this. I do think you need a little bit of technical skills, but you don't need to be full technical. Like you can get a long way without being spending 10,000 hours on technical products, for example. Like you can get quite far with just the resource that you have available in terms of no code, the resources online, the tutorials that you can get on YouTube, etc. So you can get quite far. So I think that's a misconception with Y Combinator. But certainly, if you need to go at the forefront of technology, you do need to be quite technical. And so Y Combinator, or a lot of articles say online that there's kind of two things that are essential for startups. So one is building product, and two is getting paying customers. And so back maybe when it was 20 years ago, I think it was certainly very important to build product because obviously there weren't many web products or applications as there are today. So certainly if you built an amazing product, I think you get a lot of eyeballs on that product because it was just so new. Everything was so new back in certainly the dot-com boom. So if you build an amazing product, it's probably likely that you're going to get a certain volume of users going to your product. But nowadays, the market is so overcrowded in terms of all these applications because it's becoming easier to build these products and applications that it's essentially flooding the marketplace, and it's essentially much harder to get customers, to get eyeballs on your product. And so not only is the market overfilled with all these different tech products, essentially AI, augmented reality, etc., all these different websites, marketplaces, it's very hard to kind of shine in front of the crowd. So you've got this whole crowd of products. How are the customers going to choose? Why would they choose you, for example, when another customer does something, another business does something very similar? So it's very hard to get eyeballs on your products when the market is. It's so simple to build these products, and customers kind of have multiple options to choose from. So now it's kind of a funnel game and distribution game in terms of if it's B2C, like how do you distribute or market your products? It could be TikTok, YouTube, um, Instagram, etc. How do you market in front of these masses of people and get eyeballs on your products essentially? So that's for B2C, and for B2B, also it's a different kind of strategy, but how do you create that network of businesses to gain trust in your products, gain eyeballs on your product? How do you outreach? Do you go through email, etc.? Why would they choose you over different B2B products, etc.? And so the point I'm making is that it's very easy to build product nowadays, but it's very hard to get and buy customers for your products. So essentially, there's kind of a difficulty in terms of building products, I think, as a conception. So a lot of people think that building products is actually quite difficult, but actually it's actually more simple than you think. There's actually a lot of ways to build products, certainly for the type of ideas and business spaces that people think about. Normally people think about marketplaces or different social apps, and it's actually quite simple nowadays to build out these products. You can actually build a marketplace or directory quite simply online, and there's lots of ways to build social apps if you want to do that. So yeah, in terms of building products, it's number one, it's definitely easier in terms of no codes. There's lots of applications that can help to do this. But not only that are the tools easier, but there's way more information online that you can use to build products. So maybe 20 years ago or 30 years ago, maybe you'd have to start trying to build products or using code to build products using like a textbook. Like obviously they didn't have Google back then, so how they probably have to use a textbook, right, to do it. But now there's just so much information online, all these tutorials on YouTube, Stack Overflow, etc., all these articles online, and you got no code on top of it, so it's much easier, and you got AI to help to build products on top of that, so it's becoming way more easier. And so the next thing I mentioned was getting customers. So B2B about building a network, B2C is about grabbing the attention of the consumers as well. So in terms of the products I use to build no-code applications with, I mainly use Flutterflow, and this is capable of building both iOS and Android applications, and it can also build web applications as well. So it's kind of all bundled into one. It's extremely easy to use. I'll probably do a tutorial in one of my next videos, but Flutterflow is extremely easy to use. It's really well respected in the community, really well reviewed online. And so you essentially kind of use these drag and drop tools to essentially create your application, and basically at a click of a button you can publish to iOS and Android once everything's set up. And so yeah, you can build out whole marketplaces, social apps, whatever you want on the mobile apps. And you can also add payment systems, you can add subscriptions, one-time payments, etc. So it's incredibly useful for like realizing your dream or idea that you have and just putting it onto Flutterflow with no code. And if you know what you're doing, if you're quite experienced with Flutterflow, I mean, you could easily build out like a simple product in a few days or a week if you work quite hard on it. So other tools that are well respected in the community are also Bubble as well. This is only for web applications or websites, but it is well reviewed within the community, well respected. I don't personally use it, but I know a lot of people do. I personally use Flutterflow because I like being able to be flexible in terms of publishing to mobile apps, iOS, Android, web applications, and having that flexibility to do so. So nowadays with AI, there's an increase in tools that can help you code with AI as well. So these are Cursor AI and Bolt. These are the ones in fashion at the moment. So I'm going to be making a video later on with these tools as well. So yeah, but mainly I use Flutterflow because it's just amazing for drag and drop, adding payments, iOS, Android, etc. So kind of my final notes on this are that a lot of people's ideas or business dreams or problems they want to solve is available with the current tech. You don't have to invent something new. There's a lot of information online how you build out these products. And so in my experience, a lot of people want to build out directories or marketplaces, and these are certainly very available, possible with the available technology we have. It's certainly easier now than ever. Like there's so many tutorials online, there's so many no-code tools, etc. And yeah, it's just really easy to get started. So I just want to add that doing this with starting startups with no code is really great for MVP, validating your idea and getting initial users, getting investors, etc., on boards with how you're solving a problem, how you're getting paying customers, etc. So that can be really great for that. But as you scale or as you want to add more features, yes, you may want to change to hiring developers for actually coding out the product, because in my experience, there's a certain limit to what these no-code tools can do. You're kind of waiting for that company to build out extra new features before you can add new features. So by coding products within your team using developers, etc., or doing it yourself, you're far more flexible in terms of the features that you want to add onto it, rather than relying on an existing framework provided by a different organization. So I would preface that as well. So, and also add that when you're, obviously, as I mentioned, that you're creating something new, completely new in a technical space, you do need to be quite technical, or you do need to partner up with other technical developers to do this as well. But I would say for most ideas, business ideas or problems that you're trying to solve nowadays, they can be solved with the available technology right now. Due to the wealth of information online, it's now easier than ever. All these tutorials, all these no-code platforms, it's very easy to get started. I'll probably do some very accessible tutorials later on. But yeah, for now, I really believe that you can create startups without coding. Certainly for an MVP, just getting those initial paying customers, validating your idea, you can easily use no code to build up your app within a week, essentially, if you know what you're doing. Yeah, and so yeah, hopefully you found that video useful. So if you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe, and see you next time.